In this video, I want to talk about a very interesting discussion that was sparked by Lee Ross, who was the co-head of Infinite Warfare Zombies. At least he was the figurehead and responsible for a lot of the narrative for that game. And whilst Infinite Warfare Zombies was very controversial, one thing I think everyone in the community can agree on is that Lee Ross's presence on social media was very valued and much needed. With Treyarch back in the day, there was no one really on social media talking and interacting with the community. Jason Blundell would come on and do these cryptic interviews every now and again, which were very fun for the time period, but it would also mean that we would go months without a word from Treyarch sometimes, and we would have no idea what's going on. And it would have been useful if we had someone like Lee Ross on social media interacting with the community, and now we have that with Kevin Drew constantly interacting with the community on Twitter ahead of Treyarch's next Zombies game. Well, anyways, as you know, he used to work at Infinity Ward, but after Infinite Warfare was done with, he then joined Treyarch to help out with Blackout Zombies in Black Ops 4, among some other things, but he then left Activision entirely and Treyarch, and I'm not exactly sure what he's up to nowadays, to be honest. But he is still constantly interacting with the Zombies community on Twitter. And the other week, he shared some very interesting thoughts. Joe asked him on Twitter, any plans on any more zombies? Love the style of gameplay, Zombies now is trash and we need you back. He said, unfortunately, I'm not at Activision, so if it's going to happen, it isn't going to be led by me. I don't exactly agree with Joe's statement that Zombies is completely trash now. Yes, Vanguard Zombies has been a disastrous year to be a Zombies fan, but I think just a year ago we had a massive rejuvenation in Call of Duty Zombies with Black Ops Cold War Zombies. I think they reinvented the Zombies formula a bunch and brought in a ton of new players to the Call of Duty Zombies franchise. A lot of players over from Warzone that had never played Zombies before. Guardian said, first off, Infinite Warfare is probably my favourite Zombies experience I've had, but my question is, will we ever see you develop another Zombies experience? I loved Infinite Warfare Zombies' story, and I want to see it continue one day. Lee Ross said, if given the opportunity, 100%, but I'd need complete creative control and no bullshit studio head involvement. So this is giving us some insight behind the scenes of Infinite Warfare Zombies development, and I guess some insight into every single Call of Duty game. A lot of people like to blame the developers or the specific people in charge of certain departments as to the ongoings or perceived failures of Call of Duty, but you have to bear in mind that there are always higher ups that are controlling things and controlling budget constraints and various other issues that we never learn about as Call of Duty fans. For example, with Vanguard Zombies, on the face value it seems like Treyarch has completely lost touch and they don't know what they're doing and they're pumping out not much content. Vanguard Zombies released without even a Pack-a-Punch camo, not even an Easter egg. It pretty much released extremely bare bones. But you have to bear in mind there's a bunch of higher ups and studio heads that are controlling certain things, and these people are often the reasons as to why the passionate developers can't fulfill their wishes and what they want from the games due to these constraints. Now, my personal view on Infinite Warfare Zombies is I don't think it is the best Zombies game. I've seen over the last few years that the love for Infinite Warfare Zombies has rejuvenated a bunch. I've seen a lot of people be very vocal on Twitter that Infinite Warfare Zombies is one of the best Zombies experiences, and I personally think that Zombies in Spaceland is an okay map, and I really like Raven the Redwoods, but I wasn't a fan of the rest of the DLC that much, and I didn't really like the Beast from Beyond. In spite of this though, I do appreciate what Infinite Warfare Zombies did right. I think it did a lot right, especially the super Easter egg for that game with the Mephistopheles boss fight, probably one of the best boss fights we've ever seen in Zombies history, and the Director's Cut mode was a massive addition to the game because I think it made all of the maps within the game so much more replayable, and Treyarch should definitely take notes on how Infinite Warfare Zombies did the super Easter egg, and Treyarch should implement something similar in a future game. I think the Director's Cut mode made all of the maps so much more replayable because you could jump in and get the wonder weapons and everything pretty much from the get-go with all of the perks without having to spend a bunch of time setting up the map. I think that's a big turn-off for me. I often won't start up maps because the setup just takes so long, and that's why I loved Cold War Zombies so much, because the setup was so simple. And despite Infinite Warfare Zombies solving this problem with the Director's Cut mode, at the end of the day, Director's Cut was still something that only hardcore players would be able to achieve, so not many fans actually got to even unlock that mode, with the Mephistopheles boss fight being so hard. Although you could get carried by better players who could carry you through all of the Easter eggs, which was a massive plus. But not only did Infinite Warfare Zombies do right in terms of the super Easter egg, but there were a bunch of quality of life improvements to the game, such such as being able to change your perks mid-game, or a max ammo instantly refilling your ammo. They also introduced the fan-made Banana Colada as a perk in the form of Trailblazers, and this was a perk that people were begging Treyarch to add to Black Ops 3 Zombies, and it just never got added, but Infinity Ward managed to pull it off. They also had very compelling Easter eggs, very fun Easter eggs, especially Zombies in Spaceland is one of the best Easter eggs. Personally though, the reason why I wasn't that big of a fan of Infinite Warfare Zombies is it felt like it was a bit of a step down, well, a massive step down of Black Ops 3 Zombies, because the gameplay was very similar, but I felt like the Zombies AI wasn't as crisp. They would run about and clip through objects, and they would run about in this really messy crowd, which I wasn't too big of a fan of. I don't really know exactly how to describe it. I also didn't really like how the storyline was told in the game. I wasn't really interested in the story at all until The Beast from Beyond. I think the ending to the Super Easter egg was an awesome conclusion, but in terms of the rest of the Infinite Warfare zombie storyline, I wasn't really that big of a fan of it. I think it was okay with Zombies in Spaceland and Raven the Redwoods. I didn't really like how they handled Extinction in The Beast from Beyond. In terms of a storyline sense, I think it kind of diminished what they did with Extinction before, but I think the main issue with the storyline was that we didn't really have proper characters, and the characters were just nobodies that we weren't really interested in, which is another critique a lot of people have had of Cold War Zombies and Vanguard Zombies, with the fact that we just have operators. But even then, I think that's still a cooler concept than the characters we got in Infinite Warfare Zombies, in my opinion. I also felt like the movement was pretty much the same as Black Ops 3 Zombies. It was just slowed down a bit, and I didn't really like that, which was why I just felt like Infinite Warfare Zombies was just a downgrade of Black Ops 3 Zombies in pretty much every single way. Not just in terms of the zombies, but also the multiplayer just felt like a slowed down, less impressive version of Black Ops 3's multiplayer, which was why I was kind of just not really interested in it for the year. But Infinite Warfare Zombies did introduce DLC weapons that were actually in the zombies and were in the mystery box. All of the DLC weapons got added. It also had a pretty fair microtransaction system with the keys, I believe. So it did take a lot of steps forward. All of the boss fights were really cool as well, and I do really appreciate Infinity Ward and Lee Ross and the other developers for what they did with Infinite Warfare Zombies. I think it was a very big achievement. Whilst I'm not the biggest fan of it, I do appreciate the good things that they did do for the game. I just overall feel like the sense of grandeur with Infinite Warfare Zombies was just a lot less than Black Ops 3 Zombies. Black Ops 3 Zombies just started to go all out with the grandeur and epicness of it, with us blowing up the moon on Drak and having the bows, and with Shadows of Evil having the massive Apothicon in the sky. The atmospheres of the map in Black Ops 3 Zombies were just so cool and so epic, every single one. Zetsubo with the swamp, Gorod Krovi with the dragons flying above, and then Revelations being in Agatha with one of the most amazing skyboxes ever. All of that was just so epic, with us going inside the Apothicon servant for Pack-a-Punch, and I feel like Infinite Warfare Zombies was just lacking in all of those aspects, apart from the Mephistopheles boss fight, and I guess the boss fight for Zombies in Spaceland as well. Everything else just didn't feel as epic in Infinite Warfare Zombies, and also all of the maps didn't have as cool atmospheres. Zombies in Spaceland has a really unique atmosphere, with it being an 80s theme park. That was an awesome aesthetic. I also like the woodland aesthetic of Raven the Redwoods contrasted with the Raves, of course, but the rest of the other maps didn't really have that amazing environments. And again, I think that's one of the reasons as to why I felt like it was just a downgrade from Black Ops 3 Zombies, because almost everything was pretty much the same. You had similar movements, similar systems. It was just less in quality than Black Ops 3, and of course there was a lot less maps too, with us just having 4 DLC maps and then Zombies in Spaceland on release. Black Ops 3 Zombies, of course, had a lot more content to offer, and then we also got Zombies Chronicles. Before I continue with the rest of what I want to discuss, I just have a quick message to share for you. This video has been kindly sponsored by Fish Royale Shark Adventures, which is a free-to-play casual action adventure game set in the depths of the ocean where colourful corals with beautiful fish live. It's a mobile game available on both iOS and Android devices. You need to find your fish friends that all have their own unique abilities and playstyle, and together find starfish scattered around the reef. Beware, the ocean depths contain epic bosses and hungry sharks that you need to defeat in order to be successful. Explore the depths, eat or be eaten in this action adventure game with puzzles to solve, secrets to find, and epic bosses to defeat. You grow bigger for every fish you eat, and you get new abilities and stats the more experience you get. It's a casual fish game that can be played and enjoyed by anyone. Its main features include simple and fun gameplay, eat smaller fish to grow bigger and stronger, find all the secret starfish. To complete this challenge you need to eat a number of fish, but make sure you are eating all the fish to become larger than them, use the environment for your advantage, or use your fish special ability. The starfish have been destroyed into small fragments all across the level that you need to find. After you find all 5 fragments, you'll get your starfish. To find the secret starfish, you need to to use your brains and wits, sometimes you need to solve mysterious puzzles, defeat big bosses, or just simply find them hidden somewhere. Play as your favourite fish with their own unique abilities and playstyles. Each fish has 2 unique abilities that you can unlock by gaining enough experience. You can also get stronger, faster, larger, or tougher each time you level up. Pop out bubbles that shoot out of the mysterious clam when you feed it pearls. Evolve your fish with new unique abilities, increase your stats and grow in size. See how long you can last in the fish Royale mode, where you will face all kinds of different fish species, lots of achievements to complete and secrets to be found in the ocean reef. Challenging levels with hidden secrets, face epic bosses where you need to outsmart them to defeat them. Some of the unique playable fish that you can unlock are the following: the turtle can use his shell to protect and navigate, the electrifying eel can charge its skin with electricity and shock everyone too close, the terrifying angler can lure fish to its scary jaws, the pretty blue dolphin can dash and stun other fish with its sonic boom, the seahorse can shoot bubbles and propel around fast with its little fins, and a lot more fish for you to discover. A world full of life. Explore the caverns and find a world full of life with beautiful corals and colourful fish, but even though it's beautiful, it's not always friendly. You need to be careful of what lurks in the depths, so try Fish Royale today via the link in the description and find your friends and defeat the angry grey white shark that lurks in the bottom of the cave. So bringing it back to what Lee Ross had to say, the reason why I wanted to talk about my thoughts on Infinite Warfare Zombies is now I want to share Lee Ross's thoughts on Cold War Zombies. So he said, respect to the team that brought the game to life, given the time and resources. At the end of the day, very talented people did their best to entertain you with the undead. I do respect Lee Ross's opinion, but he's basically saying he respects the developers and what they managed to create with Cold War Zombies given their restricted resources and time. But he personally doesn't feel like Cold War Zombies was a very good Zombies game because he was asked to rank all of the Zombies game and he put Infinite Warfare Zombies as number 1. Of course, he made the game and is very passionate about it, so he's certainly within his right to put it as number 1. He then put Black Ops 2 as 2nd, Black Ops 3 as 3rd, World at War as 4th, World War 2 as 5th, Cold War, and then Vanguard. And I just can't really get behind this list. Of course, it's his own opinion, everyone is entitled to their opinions, but personally I think that Black Ops Cold War Zombies is one of the best Zombies games, and given the fact that it was created in such a short time period under such tight constraints and they still managed to pull off a solid Zombies experience, just makes it that much better. Personally, I would put Black Ops 3 and Cold War Zombies as number 1, and then I'll probably have Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 4 as 2 and 3. I'll probably then have Infinite Warfare Zombies, then I'll have World at War Zombies. The reason why World at War Zombies is so low, even though it is such a big staple in Call of Duty Zombies history because it started it off, is just because the mechanics are so broken and clunky since it was the first Zombies game. When you go back to it, it just feels very off. And then of course I'll have Vanguard at the bottom. I don't really know as to why Lee Ross has put Cold War so low. It's definitely better than games like World War II, for example. World War II Zombies is very controversial. It really only has 2 good maps in my opinion, which are the Final Reich, which I think is a very solid launch map, and then I guess also Groston House is really fun, and then we also have the second DLC map, the Shadowed Throne, but the other DLC are some of the worst, with the Tortured Path and the Darkest Shore. I think the problem with World War II Zombies is there was just way too many bosses all at once and the Wurslings were so annoying. World War II Zombies had a lot of flaws, unfortunately. And like I said earlier, I respect Lee Ross's opinion. Of course, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Personally, I disagree. I do wonder how much Lee Ross plays Zombies though and how much he played Black Ops Cold War Zombies. Maybe if you played it more, it would be higher up that list. But I think the good thing about Cold War Zombies is just the ease of accessibility and the flow of the Easter eggs. It's just so seamless and buttery, especially D Machine's Easter egg. Dubbed Out then asked, were we ever going to see some of Willard's original films such as Nightmare Summer, Murder High, etc.? Was another cast planned for Infinite Warfare Zombies 2? Why could you see over the rave in the headlight of the out of area car like it was a camera? Also, why does the car have a skull from Ghosts and Skulls on it? He said, undecided. What I can tell you is I damn near trolled the entire Treyarch universe into Willard Wyler films. Yeah, I was out for blood, lol. So this is actually huge. Apparently, Lee Ross thought about retconning all of the Treyarch games to just be Willard Wyler films, and I'm glad he never ended up doing this because that would have been way too big of a troll. He shouldn't really be tampering with the other studios' storylines. He made Extinction just a Willard Wyler film, which I felt like wasn't a good idea because it kind of ruined the significance of Extinction in my own opinion. But yeah, these are all my opinions, of course. Everyone is entitled to them, like I said earlier. Speaking of which, Carnage Hero spoke very kindly about Infinite Warfare Zombies and why it shouldn't be the most hated Call of Duty of all time. And I agree, it shouldn't be the most hated, but it also shouldn't be the most loved. Lee Lee Ross said, I did my absolute best to help educate the masses to the things we were doing right, but at the time we weren't Treyarch, so there was unwarranted hate galore. Depressing. At the end of the day, I damn near sacrificed my life to make something great, and I'd never take that back. And once again, whilst I'm not the biggest fan of Infinite Warfare Zombies, I really salute Lee Ross with what he did and the passion he had for Infinite Warfare Zombies. That man was damn near on his deathbed, putting in blood, sweat and tears into that game, and it doesn't matter what you think of the outcome, you have to appreciate the work ethic and that passion. And the internet can be very toxic at times. A lot of people were very toxic with the hate for Infinite Warfare Zombies. I think even I crossed that boundary at times with me being displeased back in the day, but it has been years since then and I've changed as a person, and I can reflect on my mistakes with how I went about critiquing that game. But the community was very hard on that game, and I'm sure being a developer, hopping on social media and seeing everyone bad-mouthing your game was just very unpleasant and very demoralizing and really ruined your mood. I'm really sad that Lee Ross and the other developers had to go through that. I do disagree with what he said about the fact that they weren't Treyarch, so there was unwarranted hate galore. I do think there was some people who just completely wrote off Infinite Warfare Zombies because it wasn't made by Treyarch, but personally, I think there were a lot of people still giving genuine criticism of that game, and it wasn't just, this isn't Treyarch, so we're going to hate on it. I think people had genuine gripes with the game. For example, the fact that the map settings weren't as cool as Black Ops 3's maps, or the fact that the storyline wasn't really that engaging. These were genuine criticisms that weren't just, this game isn't Treyarch, so we're going to hate it. Infinite Warfare Zombies, like I said earlier, did a lot of things right, but at the same time, it did a lot of things wrong in my own personal opinion. There's a lot of things I like and a lot of things I dislike, just like with every game. And whilst there were some that wrote it off because it's not a Treyarch game, a lot of people also just didn't like the concept of Infinite Warfare Zombies all just being Willard Wyler movies and not really having a consistent storyline where we went from map to map, having a proper purpose. And I think Lee Ross needs to look at all of the criticisms he got and realize that yes, there were some genuine criticisms there. Yes, there were also some people who wrote it off just because it's not a Treyarch game, but I don't think that was the only reason as to why Infinite Warfare Zombies received backlash or a lot of criticism. Like I said, I think there was genuine criticism too. Anyways, Billy Apple said, to partner, hope I'm not too late. What was one scrapped idea, if any, for a wonder weapon? How would it work? 2, was there ever an idea for a small zombies map where you get to survive at the movie theater? Lee Ross said, the things left on the cutting room floor were substantial. The team was ambitious. So they had a lot planned for Infinite Warfare Zombies. Unfortunately, it all didn't make the cut, which I guess is the same for every single Zombies installment, or any Call of Duty game for that matter. So much gets scrapped. Lee Ross said, nope, Trek did a theater and I wasn't touching that, referring to Kino de Toten. Comey said, if you wished one core gameplay element to be implemented in Zombies since World at War, what would it be? He said, persistence and progression across all games in some capacity. And again, this is a very big addition to Zombies and is one of the biggest reasons why I think Cold War Zombies was so successful. That cross progression between multiplayer, Warzone, the campaign and Zombies. People could grind their camos in Zombies, which was so much fun. And this is also something I wish was implemented in Zombies way sooner, because I think it would have encouraged a lot more multiplayer fans to jump into Zombies. Cross progression is so important. But that's everything I wanted to talk about in this video. Again, this isn't any hate towards Lee Ross in any way, shape or form. I really appreciate what they did with Infinite Warfare Zombies, and these are all just opinions at the end of the day. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not here for the latest and greatest Call of Duty news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.